We're joined, John Double O Fleming. You seem to love Toronto, and Toronto seems to love you. Is this a fair statement?
Big time, you've nailed it. I've got a lot of history in Toronto. I adore this city. I've kind of watched the process of the scene growing, being born and grow here, and it's been wonderful. And I feel a big part of it. So that's why I love it so much.
You're celebrating this coming Saturday with your new compilation. 4 hours is a pretty unique idea. How did this come about?
Um, I'm 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 a self-confessed gadget freak, and hence why I'm one of the product developers for Pioneer and various other companies, to be honest. And I've done so many CDs in my past, and I just find they restrict me. After 80 minutes, you got to stop, and then you got to get on to recording CD2 and then CD3. And with technology these days, you look at everyone, and they're holding a PDA. They've got computers, everything's streaming, and that's the way forward, to be honest. And that allows me to do what I'm best at doing, long sets. I love playing long sets in clubs. We were laughing at the promoter at the weekend just going, and he said, "You're such a great DJ to have here because you open up the night and you just keep playing until the very end, and we have to kind of get you off the decks." And that's the same kind of ethos with the mix compilation. I've now got musical freedom to do what I want. You can get pretty much what I'm playing in clubs unbroken, and that's why it's over 4 hours actually. I think it's like 4 hours 20 odd minutes or something of a full mix unbroken. It's the full musical journey.
I know you hate when artists send out mass emails to various labels to shop a new song. What's the most important thing when sending you specifically new material for your label that young producers fail to do with the tracks?
I mean, what people seem to do these days, they must spend a couple of weeks just grabbing email addresses and of all labels, and they just send a massive blanket email out to all labels saying, "Hey, made a new track," and the receiving end, this end, is exhausting, going through so many emails when there's no care and attention sent to what label you're sending the music to. And I mean, for instance, why send a trance track to a house label? It just, you're going to irritate the label, and then you actually make note of the names that are people that are doing this, and in the end, when you get an email from them, that goes in the trash bin straight away. And when you get someone reach out to you that understands that your label does actually suit their track, and then make a few references to say, "Hey, look, I know your label, be a big fan, I like this, like artists like that, like this," and the more references you make to the knowledge of the actual label, and what they're about, that track is more likely going to get listened to. And that's exactly how we do at this end. And it just shows that you actually take care, and you are a little bit, not that we want people that fan of the label, but you've taken care to say, "I've made this track, it actually fits the sound of your label," or it could be whatever, if it's a techno label. And it just shows that you're caring and you do understand.
On a side note, I really like your blog posts that you put up. I feel like they're very handy for a lot of people and really give some good insight from someone like yourself.
Yeah, I just like to give people real world advice, because there's a lot of marketing hype that goes on, a lot of false talking, and it just annoys me when I see things like that, because I truly want to help the next generation, and that's why I've done these blogs and tutorials, etc., in magazines. I really do care. You've probably noticed I'm not ranting so much now because I'm enjoying giving people help.
If you could have started something or done something 10 years earlier in your career, what would it have been?
You know what? I don't think I would have changed anything different about my career. I'm in a really happy place, both DJ, producer, and as a person. I really wouldn't change anything. I'm at the happiest of where I can be now. And people presume that you want to be the number one DJ in the world, you want to be a superstar. That seems to be what the world is today. You have to have some sort of trophy or an award to dictate how well you've done in your career. And people think, "Oh, you didn't become a top 10 DJ, your track doesn't get to the number one in the Beatport charts." And they just think, "Oh, when you're going to be happy when you achieve that?" I don't want any of that a lot. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be on the front of magazines. I just want to be able to do what I'm about musically. And as long as I can do that, I'm in a happy place, and that's why I am in a happy place.
What's your take on this swing away from big room on the commercial side of things to deep house, and does it impact what you do at all?
You know what? It's just a fad, and these musical fads, they're generated somewhere by someone that's investing money into the scene and trying to do something and trying to make things happen. And in my career, I've seen these fads come and go, and I'm smart enough and wise enough now, after 20 odd years of being in this industry. It's the people that choose what happens next. It's not a generated thing that you'll see in the front cover of magazines for a few months. And we've seen this with dubstep, with electro that was contrived years ago. Yeah, you get a blip, but at the end of the day, I know what works in clubs, and I can see what's happening in clubs. And people have exhausted trance. They took out of trance, they trashed that good name of it. They took out of progressive house, they trashed that. So they're on to the next thing, and progressive house will have its 5 minutes, and then it'll just disappear. And all you have to do is take some time, go and look in the underground scene, go and look at what is actually organically building, go and look at what people are into, because when these commercial things happen, the natural process for people to just distance themselves and get away from that and start hunting or making events which suit them. And I've never seen such a big underground movement in my whole career that I'm seeing at the moment, and it's very healthy musically, wise. It doesn't have to have a genre stamp to it like deep house. And really, in those real underground world, you've got all multiple genres in the night. They use the genres to program the event, so you get a nice musical curve of a musical flow in the event. And that's why I laugh at these kind of people saying, "Oh, deep house is going to be the next thing," and it's not.
It's just one part of that fad, as you said.
It's a fad. Go and visit the underground world, and you'll find the best musical experience you've ever had in your life. And that's always been the history of the underground.
Well, on that note, I got a chance to play and throw a party last night, a small underground off-license rave, I guess you could call it, for about 100 people. Do you ever get the opportunity to do something like that anymore?
Yes. Not so much illegal. My roots are full on in that. That's where my career was born. I was born in those underground worlds, those illegal warehouse parties, those ones where you're wondering if the police are going to turn up any minute. But that people had to create those nights for that musical experience. But luckily in this world, there's a lot of legal venues which are embracing the underground sound as well, and that's what I'm actively hunting and finding at the moment. Actually, my Due for Editions concept is almost going back to those underground days. It's I just want a dark room. I don't want any of those LED walls and all of that pyrotechnics. No dancers. We get in a bigger sound system. We move the DJ booth off the stage and go and hide it somewhere, and that allows the DJs, the acts that are there, just to put their head down, get on with the job in hand, and unfold a great, fantastic musical story without any limitations. So in a way, I'm creating my own underground experience with my Due for Editions concepts, and it's really working well, and the clubs love it as well.
Switching gears just a bit, would you DJ your best friend's wedding if they asked you to do so?
I've been asked that question a few times. Funny. I get that with family members that don't understand what I do. That they're just in a world where they don't understand electronic music, and I can keep telling them that, look, what I do, you wouldn't understand. They just think I'm playing in a top 40 club. I'll just give up trying to explain that I'm something different. So I do get those requests from family members, and I have to politely say no. And friends-wise, yeah, I've had some requests, but I would do it if it's a close mate, but it would have to be the right event. If it was a few standout mates, which they asked me, I know that they would put a rocking underground event on, and I'd say, yes, let's go for it.
If you could do a come out of retirement party, what DJs would you want to have on your bill?
Oh, now that's a question, because all my current favourite guys are still active. I think one guy who was very good at what he did musically. See, people think I'm a purist. I don't. It's probably because my ranting days, and I'm not. I do like a slab of uplifting music, but trying to find that good quality uplifting music these days is really hard. I mean, I find it very difficult to, when I get to the uplifting part of my set, to try and find good uplifting music. it's either dark underground or it's full on, EDM commercialism. There's not much in the middle there. But one guy that used to play sets very well with that kind of uplifting sound was Matt Hardwick. And he was a good man that we've lost. It was such a shame. We a good man's gone down. So I'd definitely bring Matt out of retirement to play one of his amazing sets.
I guess just to wrap up things, where are you off to in the next few months?
Probably easy to ask, where am I not going in the next few months? I'm going to Poland, to Kiev, to Russia, Australia, South America, Argentina. I really am going all over the place. I've got a very busy year ahead.
Is Miami on the list for this year again?
No, it's not this year. Next year, I think it will be. The only reason I'm not doing this year because I'm one of the team behind starting the UK's first ever music conference. It's called the Brighton Music Conference.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on the 11th and 12th of April. And I thought going to Miami, then having to get back to get into to my head into kind of promotion mode and running this huge, massive event that we're doing. And we're doing our own event there was a little bit too much. So I decided to stay close to home so I can put all my energy into this music conference.
Well, I wish you the best with Brighton, and we'll see you at the Mod Club in Toronto.
Good. Look forward to seeing you there. Right. Tell me again what I got to say, and then I'll go.
Just something like, hey, this is John 00 Fleming. You're listening to DJ Amps on Amplified Radio.
This is John 00 Fleming. You're listening to DJ Amp on Amplified Radio. Hi, this is John 00 Fleming, and you're listening to my new single on Amplified Radio. Hi, this is John 00 Fleming, and I'm super proud to announce this is DJ Amp's 700th Amplified Radio show. Super proud of you. Well done.